Yo, what up folks, today we're taking a look at 5-color Niv, but wait, if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel, it helps me out a ton, and let's get into it. So, this is the shell we're working with. Niv-Mizzet Reborn, excuse the fact that I've got two versions, I refuse to craft the other two of one of them, because, yeah, wild cards are precious. But, WotC, 6/6 with flying. When Niv-Mizzet Reborn enters the battlefield, reveal the top 10 cards of your library. For each color pair, choose a card that is exactly those colors from among them, put the chosen cards into your hand, and the rest at the bottom of your library in a random order. Really powerful card advantage engine. It's a 6/6 with flying. It beats down as well because you're prone pretty quickly. The thing that we're missing here, potentially, thank you Wizards, is Bring to Light, which is an amazing card, normally used to find in Mizzet. Lets you play like a real toolbox, but we make do. So we're running a Gigantha deck. Okay, because obviously, hey, we're playing WotC, King, and Niv-Mizzet, and then also have a bunch of color pair cards. And we need to, you know, cast this WotC mana cost, and so we've got some help with that. We don't have Sylvan Caryatid, again, thank you Wizards for that, but we do have Paradise Druids, so that's going to help us get there color-wise. Our mana base is a bit of a mess. There will be a link to the Decklist in the description if you can't make sense of this, but I will run through it. Okay, so we've got our 4 copies of Paradise Druid. We've got some acceleration with Growth Spiral, which handily also you can find off Niv-Mizzet, so okay, nice, that's a Simic card. We also have Vanishing Versus, a kind of premier early removal spell. Exile target monocolored permanent, helps us get us through the kind of like the mid-range. The idea here is we're going to try and go over the top with Niv-Mizzet, get a bunch of cards, and play this control game plan. Vanishing Verse, Growth Spiral, Paradise Druid, some early acceleration, and some interaction for opponent stuff. At 3, and you can see here that there are a lot of one-ofs. We have 1 copy of Prismari Command along with 2 copies of Cardigan's Command. The Prismari Command, 2 damage to the target, draw 2, discard 2, which can be really helpful because, hey, sometimes you can't cast the cards in your hand, or you just need to filter towards, like, hey, you want to draw 2 and then miss it. So we don't have the 8 copies afforded to us by Bring to Light, and so, hey, that's super useful. Create a Treasure, again, helps you get those colors, can actually ramp you towards getting Niv-Mizzet down on turn 4 as well, and then, hey, Destroy Target Artifact is actually super useful in the format, which is also where we're playing with Cardigan's Command. Cardigan's Command, return a creature from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, cool, if you've got a Niv-Mizzet there that we either discarded earlier, or opponent's killed, we can buy that back, huge card advantage. Target player discards a card, versus some of those more, like, slower matchups, we can run our opponents out of cards. Artifacts, 2 damage to any target. Cool. 2 copies of Cardigan's Command, 1 copy of Prismari Command. We have 1 copy of Wandering Mind, 1 blue-red for a 2/1 with flying. Enter the battlefield, look at the top 6, reveal a non-creature non-land card from among them, put it into your hand. Hey, finds you your next like spell. Clothis is a nice one. It's one of the few Gruul cards that I think is worth playing here. Comes in, it's really hard to deal with, kind of just sits there and play, but buys you a lot of time. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, exile target card from a graveyard. So if it's a land, you get mana, or you gain life, your opponent loses life. Versus slower matchups, this can just burn your opponent out. Versus more aggressive matchups, it can buy you a bunch of time, and hey, occasionally you'll be able to get that extra mana and use that to ramp you. And then lastly, a Deafening Clarion. It's a Boros card that we can find with Niv-Mizzet, but also, hey, early Wraths, really important to help you get you through versus aggro decks, 3 damage to each creature, and later on in the game you can give lifelink to your 6/6 flyers as well. Super solid, super solid. Some spice at 4. We obviously have 3 Omnath, just like, hey, we're playing a deck with 4 or 5 colors. It's got Omnath in it. It is just really good. We obviously can't find it off in Niv-Mizzet. It's just a, hey, it's a good card. We've got some Fable Passages to kind of go off with the land drops. But hey, it can also, you can get some really powerful turns where you go like Omnath on turn 5, cast this, play a land, get the 5 mana between the mana you generate here, if it's a Fable Passage, and then like drop in Niv-Mizzet of it, and all of a sudden you're super far ahead. So pretty nice that way. Yasharn is really nice versus sacrifice decks. Does also, like, we do have 1 of each basic, will occasionally grab you the forest and the plains, which is super nice. But hey, turns some of your opponent's stuff off, fixes you some mana, and is a 4/4 that's around in play. Solar Blaze is another Wrath. It's another Boros card we can find, which is nice, but hey, another 4 mana Wrath that we can play on our main deck, one colored. And then 2 copies of Nahiri. Nahiri the Harbinger hasn't seen a ton of play in Explorer and Pioneer, but is really solid. Again, it's a Boros card you can find off Niv-Mizzet. You can find most of the cards in the deck with this visit. But +2, discard a card, you may draw a card. Okay, -2, exile target enchantment, tapped artifact, or tapped creature. Hey, some interaction for artifacts, enchantments is pretty nice. If your opponent's like beating you down, obviously you can exile a creature, but we can tick up immediately to 6, tick up again, go to 8, and this -8 ability, search your library for an artifact or creature card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle against haste, returns to your hand. And the target we have for this that we want to be doing, hey, you can go and do Niv-Mizzet, that is really solid, but Atraxa is also really good, it gets you the lifelink as well, and hey, then you get to recast it, trigger it again. Super powerful. Then, at 5, so we have our 4 copies of Niv-Mizzet Reborn. Yeah, I mean, I bring to light, so we can't always, you know, find it when you want it. So we've got some other targets, things as well we can cast. One copy of Niv-Mizzet Supreme from Aftermath. Flying, Hexcretion Monocoloured, makes it like fairly survivable, dodges some certain removal. Each instant sorcery card in your graveyard that has exactly 2 colors has Jumpstart, which is a super powerful ability. Discard a card from your hand to recast any of the instant sorceries from your graveyard is really strong. So hey, one of those. And then we also have an Elesh Norn. Obviously we've got like hey Niv-Mizzet, we've got Omnath, we've got Traxxas, but it also turns off a bunch of your opponent's stuff, so I think it's worth having in here. And then kind of like, you know, we have some early removal with Vanishing Verse, but it'll also hold us down. We have 4 copies of Leyline Binding, we have all the basic land types, should be fairly cheap, but it's some important interaction for our opponents up to. And then, like I said, Atraxas to round things out. 3 green, white, blue, black. Flying, Vigilance, Death Touch, Lifelink 7/7. When it enters the battlefield, reveal the top 10 cards. You put a card type for each card type into your... Sorry, you put a card for each card type into your hand, and the rest on the bottom. So, hey, it's a bit like a big Niv-Mizzet, but hey, the two are different, and obviously Traxxas has like all these abilities and keywords on it as well. So, really solid. The mana base, I will run through and we'll go through the sideboard, and then we'll hop into some best of 3 ranked matches. So, 1 plains, 1 island, 1 swamp, 1 mountain, 1 forest. Hey, to go with these, we have 4 copies somewhere in here of Fabled Passage to find them, only a single copy of Mana Confluence, and then we have a bunch of 1s and 2s of Shocks, Checks, and Trilands. So, 2 Zagoth Triome, 1 Aralgrim, 1 Endatha, 2 Jetmid's Gardens, 1 Xeotor's Proving Ground, 1 Rafine's Tower. Okay, that's all the Trilands. 1 Slump Elgrove, 1 Sacred Foundry, 1 Rootbound Crag, 1 Woodland Cemetery, 1 Overgrown Tomb, 1 Steam Vent, 1 Watery Grave, 1 Drowned Catacomb, 1 Hallowed Fountain. If you want to change any of the spells here, and that is one of the nice things that you can customize and kind of like chop and change things how you want, maybe you want different multicolored spells to cast, consult some deck lists online to figure out what your mana base should look like. Because this won't always be exactly correct, but it is right here. And then, so sideboard, we do have Gigantha, we have 3 copies of Rending Volley for aggressive decks like Spirits, and mono white, but also obviously versus Greasefang, just kills Greasefang early, which is super important. 3 copies of Veto, which also is an Azorius card to find off of Niv-Mizzet. Hey, awesome counter spell. 2 copies of Rest in Peace, just hey, you need to stop graveyard decks. 1 copy of Assassin's Trophy. Unfortunately, we do not have Abrupt Decay in the format. Thank you, WotC. 2 copies of Damping Sphere is a bit of a hedge towards Lotus Field. And then 2 copies of Reckoner Bankbuster versus some of those slower and controlling decks where you want to board some removal out. Hey, this comes in, draws you some cards, gets you card advantage, and then later on attacks for 4, which is super solid. And then lastly, an extra copy of Deafening Clarion versus Aggro. That's the list. If you're not already, again, please do subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. And we're going to hop into some best of 3 ranked matches. See you in a second. Here we go. First match with 5 color Niv. As if it was going to be any less than 5 colors. Hey, it is what it is. We will choose to play. Especially Gigantha. So we have our colours, we have Omnath, we have Leyline Binding, and a Paradise Druid to kind of accelerate us a bit. Seems super solid, we'll just snap peep this. And hey, that's fine. Currently don't have a... Go ahead and play the Jetmiz down. Make sure that we can cast this Paradise Druid on turn 2. This implies some kind of blue-white artifact deck, which means we might get aggroed out pretty quickly here. We're going to need this Leyline Binding online pretty quickly. However, Ingenious Smith isn't necessarily going to accelerate anything here. At least super fast. The Ornithopter, which can now become a 4/4, means we might be taking like 6 on turn 3. But I would rather get the Paradise Druid out than look to Binding this turn in particular. We get the Paradise Druid out, then we can go on... We're still not at Omnath. Double turn, we have to take it off. Okay, I think that's fine. Yeah, we still play the Accelerant, we need to get ahead of mana. But yeah. So, they can opt to turn the Ornithopter into a... Well, they can give the Ornithopter the Black Staff. Oh, yeah. Oh, they are on Boros. Jeez. Okay, Ensoul's coming in. That's 7. That's a lot. That means they're playing Ensoul as... They're playing Ensoul and Shrapnel Blast and probably the glittering, like, plating style effect. Where they get +1/+1 for each artifact enchantment. So, hey. It's a pretty greedy mana base, but it does work. You have to buy Industry to make this work. I did post a red, blue, and soul deck for the day. Okay, so you want... This currently costs 3. Overgrown 2 makes it cost 2. There's no way for us to play the Wandering Mind and... I don't really want to take tons of damage. This doesn't help us cast Omnath though. Yeah, okay. Kind of committing here to taking a turn off to deal to Leyline Binding. We'll still be able to cast Omnath. I'm actually thinking here, if they're playing like Metallic Rebuke, we actually should do this now and just Leyline Binding the Ornithopter. Get that gone. Now, even to get rid of the Leyline Binding, they get the Ornithopter. If we let them have access to Metallic Rebuke and counter spells, we might get in serious trouble. We've at least slowed them down a little bit. They don't have something to immediately turn into a 4/4 with a Black Staff either. Ensouling there is actually, I think, pretty greedy. You're like 100% using this card. Whereas if you use this, yeah, sure, I'm only taking 4, but then later on you can, well, okay, they just have a handful of Insouls. That's a little tough. We could trade off here. What does that leave us? Can't do turn, can we? Let's look casting Omnath. What's the... Do we go to 6? Oh, they're gonna have Shaman Blast as well, aren't they? Let's go to 6, see what we draw. If they're Shaman Blast, are pretty much dead. Oh, actually, Verse is a really nice draw. I wonder... We get this in play and Verse, I think so. Polygon's Command's pretty nice. Can't say no to that. We should, I think... Again, they can't cast Rebuke right now. I think I just want to Vanishing Verse the Black Staff. Yeah, we go to 5. At the moment we can block this. No matter what, pretty much, we'll put the Wandering Mind in front of the Ingenious Smith. If they've got a way to grow it, it's a bit unfortunate risk, because otherwise we can go like some Polygon's Command 2 for 1 later on. But hey. Orbital Hole is annoying. White, green, red. Oh, red, green, white, blue. Does work. I think because we're going to have to pay some life to mana base, we make this block. Keep our lifestyle as healthy as possible. So we can't play it straight away. Polygon sounds good later. I'm happy to enough to trade the Omnath. Oh, if they have a Rebuke here, then yeah, we are dead. Assuming they have an artifact to play. Not yet. Okay, Prismari Command. We've got 2 different Destroy Artifact effects, which is nice. They get to draw 1. If they have Artifact and Enchantment, they draw 2, which is pretty nuts. We've not actually, obviously they've got Ensoul in their deck. We've not seen, not called Clearing Witch. I can't remember what it's called. The 1 and a white enchantment that's like +1/+1 for each artifact and enchantment you can. Black Staff. Okay. Oh, that's lethal. Yeah, they can animate the portable hole. Or that. Yeah. Just die here. Okay. Fair play, fair play. We can hold up Colligan's Command, but we don't have a blocker for the 4/4, and so just die to that. Alright, that's a bit tough. I do want these running volleys, though they are not perfect. We also like Assassin's Trophy, and I think we also want Carrion. It's actually no good versus the like souped up creatures, and so it's pretty bad overall. So what do we want to trim? Clothis is pretty slow here. I think I want to get rid of that. Sean is not up to much. These other things like we have a bunch of cards that are really good. It's a bit of a shame about the Paradise Druid, but alas, how it is. What else do we want to cut? I think Niv's very good. Sorry, I don't think Alshon's very good. We don't have any DB abilities to shut off. I'm sort of tempted to cut the Wandering Mind, but I think live with it. I'm gonna cut the Supreme Niv. Okay. Bit rough. Yeah, our mana... Maybe I could have sequenced lands a bit better. Very tough. This is hard because we have 3 spells in our hand and they all cost 4 or more mana. And so I think in this match we have to mulligan this because they can just turn 2 and soul us and we just don't get to cast any spells in the game. This is also bad. Our lands aren't as punishing. We have turn for Omnath. I don't really want to mull to 5. Yeah, I think a mull to 5 on average we just end up not being able to cast spells. Are we gonna begrudgingly keep this? I should just put we should put the attracts on the bottom. There's just no way for us to test it. Also, this way we could potentially cheat into Bona here. We'll leave with the garden, but we need to have some really good draw steps here to get us through. This is not necessarily an indictment on the deck. Ornithopter here. And a Skrelv, okay. Trouble. We'll make the Steam-Vets tapped, we don't have anything else to do with it. We're going to look to cast this Prismari command next turn, but we have to be a little careful. Fortunately, this can only protect like actual creatures. We'll see what they do here. You can blow the Skrelv up with the Prismari command, no problem. Here's what else they do. They do have an soul. Okay, are they going to attack for 6? Or are they going to attack for 5? Okay. Oh, this is so. Mountain, white, blue, red, green. Yeah, that casts on there. So, again, I don't want to walk into. Is there a better way to do this? Oh, we probably are better off looting than. I'm gonna say go. If we get rebuked, I'll be very unhappy, but I think we'll take the chance here. Or at least let them go to combat. So they're gonna. Let's destroy Skrelv. We'll loot 2 cards. Oh, maybe we make a treasure. Oh, we'll actually make a treasure. I'll make a treasure token. Destroy Skrelv. The treasure lets us go Omnath into land drop and then we're gaining life. Which is actually huge. Like that. So we're going to have a 10, but we're going to go to gain some life back. If we had actual cards... Oh gosh. If we had actual cards in hand, I'd want to top deck Skrelv. Not Skrelv. Fable Passage. But we're not doing too much mana here. Okay, Omnath down. No! They did have a rebuke. Oh, that's brutal. That's brutal. Play Halifax. Okay, that's tough. I think Mulligan Defiant is just so optimistically. Okay, we've only drawn like a couple of. That's the Shrapnel Blast. Okay, well that was rough. That is the power of Artifact Aggro. Let's go to another match. Alright, second match here. Yeah, that's one of the new kind of fastest decks in the format. In Soul plus Shrapnel Blast is a real way of punishing you. We kind of stumbled a bit there. I'm Mulligan. So hey. Not unwinnable, but yeah, they're double Skrelv plus there's just no real shot. Okay. Opponent is going to be on the play here. Let's see what they're up to. We have Binding, Paradise. I mean, we're on the draw. I think we keep this. We have Druid on 2. We get to cast Bindings for a couple of mana, for 3 mana. I think that's fine though. Yeah, let's keep this. Our opponent's Mulligan down to 6 at least. The Bindings are probably good. They're good against pretty much everything. Gone into Proving Ground. Okay. Ooh, Thali's Lieutenant. This looks like green-white, like company humans, maybe? Oh, the Rafine's Tower is actually huge, because that makes this... White source, black source. No, so we're just getting... No, black source, blue source. Yeah, that's fine. I can do maths. Totally. We'll just pass here. We could prioritize Druid, but we don't have anything to actually ramp into, and this lets us 1 mana Ley Line Binding, which is the power. Look at the opponent's hand, he's getting card name. Oh no. Let's just get the Lieutenant out of the way. This is just gonna build up, so we're gonna want to do this at some point. If they do have like Lauren, something like that, because this is humans, so they don't have loads of disenchants, but then the Lieutenant pick does punish us a bit. We have Vanishing Verse as well, to be fair, so they have to actually pick one of the two. They probably should pick Leyline Binding because it hits the most stuff. But, it's still very cheap. Ooh, Niv-Mizzet Reborn. Let's play the Paradise Druid then, and we'll get the Proving Ground into play. And we're in a position where I think we can cast this. Black, blue, white, red, green. That makes sense to me. I'm down. Here is a company then. Let's see what they hit. They're taking too long. I don't think it's nothing. Okay, Tharley is fine. It slows down Leyline Binding, but hey, allow it. Niv-Mizzet kind of blocks forever. And this time where they want to counter, they're going to put on the Luminarch Aspirant because they know that we want to kill this. Take that back. Okay, we have some good cards, but let's try and get some more. So, our first cast of Niv-Mizzet Reborn. How many things do we get? We have to pick between Growthspire and Growthspire. We're only getting 2 cards here. But that is still, like, hey. A 6/6 plus 2 cards. They're both fairly good. Like, we take those. Take those. Growthspire not looking fantastic with Darling in play, but hey. We're up cards, we've got a 6/6. Now they need a real spell for this. If they Brutal Cathar it, and we kill the Brutal Cathar, they are in trouble, we'll say. Let's see if they try and attack through, though. Okay, Lieutenant means they can do that stuff here. Alright. How are they going to buff things? They need to attack through the 6/6. This Dauntless Bodyguard is... It won't let me see what... Great. Chosen Luminarch Aspirant. So this can sack itself to the Aspirant. I think we just want to block Thalia, just free up some of our spells. Leyline Binding also does a similar thing, doesn't it? Let's do this, because Thalia currently dies to Prismari Command. Okay. Omnath would be good, but we don't have any lands. Do 2 damage to Thalia. Then make a treasure. Any target. You make a treasure. I was gonna say that's not the thing you picked. Do we say go here? Yeah, I think so. There you go. Not in a position where we want to start attacking with them yet. We're still very much in danger. They have a cave, but there are a couple of lands off of activating it over here. That is one of the lands we need to play. Gonna go ahead and binding Desperate now. I want to try and sack the Doctor. We have 1 binding left. We have a Vanishing Verse. What do they hit here? They're thinking about it. Okay, they're gonna get another Dauntless Bodyguard. I'm just gonna fire this off at the Thana's attempt, I think. We'll use the treasure. You can cost down enough, you just need a land anyway. Let's... Oh, or we get the... This thing gets blocked. Cut this off for next. Oh, that's a bit better, actually. Like, the setting gets bigger, but we've got answers for it. The recruitment officer means gives us like some pressure to actually use it. But if we let them attack with it, it gets scary. I imagine no attacks will be declared here. And we'll get to move on, see what we draw. We have Verse, we have Solar Flare, damage equals its power. I don't really want to get rid of our Niv. Does kind of clear the board a bit. Let's. This actually putting us no, actually, this draws us a card. Let's do that. It also plays to the board. Let's just scoop to it. They don't know we don't have a land though. Oh well, they should do, but hey. Alright, we want the Rending Volleys, we want the Deafening Clarion. That's probably it here. Don't love trophies, don't love any of that stuff. On terms of what we're cutting. Again, another one, we're kind of cutting some of the slower stuff. I'm kind of tempted to leave the tracks in, but I actually think that it's going to come out. Kind of all good with this stuff. The Wandering Mind kind of just kind of floats a bit. Yeah. Happy enough looking at this. Elishon is unremovable for the Mono White deck as well. Okay. Run it up. Yeah, one of the things with this deck is that you don't necessarily need to draw infinite, like 10 cards. You're never going to draw 10 cards. But you just want a couple. You don't need like 3, 4. Like you're gonna end up discarding anyway. This is really, really solid. We've got a Rending Volley, which is just fantastic. Copies of it. We've got Omnath. We're gonna have an early Omnath. I do need to go. Oh, we've got some weird choices. They have no 1-drop. I'm gonna say go here. We're gonna go get a Forest with this. We have the option to go like Growth Spiral, but there's no purpose in it. I'm just gonna go do this now. We're still not casting either Rending Volleys till a bit later, but I think that's fine. I want to kind of prioritize getting Omnath into play. The other thing, because they're playing green-white, means we don't have to worry about ossification. Most of their answers are going to come through creatures. Get the Hallowed Fan down. We can look to make Omnath next turn, but that may not be the safest play. We'll have a look. We'll evaluate. Red, blue, green, white. 3 mana. Left handed. I'm gonna go straight here. We're gonna go no blocks, get a 14. Is, you know, fair bit of damage. So things about casting Omnath here. This thing obviously is gonna grow to be bigger. We also have Growth Spiral to fire off to try and draw a card. I'm gonna go ahead and do this now. Thinking, do I want to Growth Spiral or not? I think I am going to. There's no real reason, right? There's no way we draw 2 lands. Yeah, let's say go, because we can Vanishing Verse. If that's better than Rending Volley for some reason. Of course, we also have to worry a bit about Collector Company. But, yeah. And out in the company zone. Do I kill Tharley's Lieutenant here? I think so, yeah. This does. I should have maybe let this resolve first. Maybe that's bad. Then I can deal with the triggers on the stack. It just means that they can target Paradise Druid with like a Brutal Cathar. I don't know if they're likely to play something like have Brutal Cathar in the deck either. Because if they do, obviously it can kind of get got, as it were. Oh, coming to Thalia is cut us off of this. It's super annoying. So we have Solar Blade, but can't currently cast it. Oh, that's a good top deck. Get some life back. Alright, let's see then. I'm not expecting any Brave the Elements. Adeline's pretty good. What attacks are you going to make? Everything. Yeah, that is a lot of damage, isn't it? This box here we got a... Oh, it's not one. Glad it's not one. That's important. Okay, we have a land. Oh, what's the way we live? Blaze wipes both boards. Play the tower first. So got 1/2 blockers. Can exile Adeline with. I think we're just meant to do this, right? May as well attack for 4. I sometimes I question everything. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say if you block, then maybe we don't need to. But all right, we're now in a kind of 1-4 situation. They're a collector company. We have Niv-Mizzet. We have good top decks. They have good top decks. Night of Autumn here. Fortunately, we don't have any Leyland Bindings in play. Isn't up to much, but does dodge Vanity Verse and is a 4/4. Now we have a binding. That's great. Love that for us. I'm gonna go ahead and Growth Spiral. I'll put some better Grove into play. I will Growth Spiral again. I'm gonna decline. And yeah, okay. Sure. I'm saving the land just in case we draw Omnath, basically. But yeah. Now we're in a position where we can cast the Traxxas. So that's cool. But okay. Ooh, Besajo's pretty. Besajo's pretty good. Basic land type land. Ralgrim Triome, I think. We're down to 5. This does now let us play, fetch, and play Gigantha. They don't have a man land right now. Would like to just draw a good card though. That's my plan. They could also say something like Niv-Mizzet. And make it cost like 7. Which we can pay, but obviously it uses all our mana. At the moment, we do have Verse of the Peacekeeper. We do taking 4 grain at 1. We have like some options. Probably is just better to play the Gigantha out. But hey, we could also name Gigantha. That'd be yeah. We have named it Niv-Mizzet Reborn. Danger. Yeah, I think we just do this. You can maybe cycle this. See if they make attacks here. The minute we're blocking, going to 5. They're going to 2. We'll land. Got Clarion. I'm gonna cycle this first. We can cycle this, cast this, cancel. I'm trusting the auto tapper. Never a great sign. So here we're gonna do damage and lifelink. Yeah, back up to 7, and I'll just say go with the Vanishing Verse up. They know about it, but they are flooded. Go ahead and cycle this. Another Verse. We will cast Quathis and attack for 5. Yeah, we're firmly in the driver's seat. Unfortunately, they've kind of gone runner land here. But we take those. We take those. So when on the board, I will play another match. All right, third match for the road versus Nicol Bolas. Fantastic. We do get to the plane, which we will take. They're called Nicol Bolas, so in theory they should be playing something slow and deadly, right? We should be fine keeping 4 lands, nothing till turn infinite. Do we trust the game? I will play the game. There's no way we get punished for this, surely. We're not slightly emphasized getting the actual basic land types into play. So plan is to go like plains. Ooh, this has to change it slightly. We're gonna go woodland cemetery. This island tells us something. Spectral Sailor. That's not a Nicol Bolas card. Okay. They haven't got the nut draw, so we're actually not in the worst shape possible. Also, this Fable Passage helps us a lot. We can now cast Colligan's Command, so we're just going to go ahead and pass. If they spend mana here, then maybe we go for some kind of play. But, alas, no, they will not. Okay. I'll take one for now. Anything else? I guess we should respond to this. I'll do here. This way they can't sacrifice a Mausoleum Wanderer. In theory, Colligan's Command should be a T4 or take a counter spell. We are at least getting the discard out of it here. But we also force them to use all this stuff on their main phase. Which means we get to untap and play Nahiri, I guess. Ooh. Interesting. We do not, absolutely not want to. I think we slam Nahiri, uptick, discard the Paradise. I like this plan. We definitely don't want a downtick. And now Nahiri will be able to, because it ticks up to 6, which is such a high number. Drawing the second Nahiri is not great. But it does mean, this is the sickest thing about Nahiri, is that you can pitch it to itself. Now they have to like put if they play a Lord, they can send all their attacks at them. And that's fine. We'll play another one, I guess. But they are gonna swing at it. They're gonna stick around. Enough. We can actually go Nahiri. Not to be mistaken with Shakira. At this point, I think we actually just downtick this. They're really committed to killing it, though. I think we should cut off the rattle chains, because that maybe forces a response. Try and get rid of this.
I have failed.
Currently can't cast the Wandering Mind. Bit of an interesting one. They're thinking. This like stops them flashing in some lords or something like that. We can either go Nahiri here again, or we can maybe just try and jam Niv. They have 4 mana open. They also have the new damage thing. What I think I like here, getting Island. Alright, bear with me. And then I think I want to go blue, red, green, Wandering Mind. And this leaves us to open the opportunity to maybe cast a spell. Okay, they're going to go ahead and spell quite a lot. We don't have the mana to punish with Leyline Binding this turn, but that's kind of okay. They're going to get something with it. They couldn't get Niv-Mizzet, but maybe they have other counter spells. You don't know for certain. Supreme Phantom increases their clock by a fair bit. So what can we cast? And we're kind of losing to a counter spell anyway, so I think we just have to cast. We're on 10. Looks like they do have something. They do, in fact, have the Geistlight Snare. Yeah, no matter what we cast, we're losing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is there another Lord? Gonna go to 2? That maths? Yeah. Probably puts us down. Let's try and cast Nahiri.
I didn't start this fight, but I will finish it.
Running Spell Queller. We have a Rattle Chains. That will seal it. Okay, game two. Yeah. Rending Volley will be our hero, I'm sure. So, Spirits is a very good deck for punishing us. It'd be funky, but a lot of the cards that go against aggro also get against them. We'll see about the trophy, but we are going to board it out like tracks. So Nahiri was fine there, but is in general we would rather draw our other early in spells. I'm gonna visit blocks. Important. LS Dawn turns off some of their stuff, not all of it. Spellcore in particular, but hey. Maybe a Shan can get gone. Office has sleeve up like this. Sleeve up. We're playing arena. Come on now. You know, I believed in Nicol Bolas name, Nicol Bolas Avatar. They're playing Blue White Spirit. So, okay. Flavor fail on you. The flavor committee is going to come for you. Okay. Yeah, Spirits is not fantastic. They've got a lot of early interaction. Like, pressure into counter spells is bad. We are trying to resolve lots of 4 and 5 mana spells. That hinges on a 5 mana spell. Binding with Vanishing Verse. This time we do have Triomes to make the binding super. Go ahead and keep this. See what's up on their side. Okay, the turn 1 Wanderer. You let them play. I don't love going to land. I just want to exile it. I'm gonna go with a gut feeling. We're just gonna verse this. It may be sacrifice that goes graveyard or just to annoy me, but that's fine. This kind of like forces them to put something else on the board now. And ooh, okay, so that's a decent draw. The thing is that Fabled Passage, the difference between paying 1 mana and paying 2 mana is not very much. Gonna make the Water Grave tap and say go. You want to try and use the Mana Confluence for red, and then later on, when we've got Omnath, play the Fabled Passage. We'll see how that actually works out, but hey. Spectral Sailor is less of a problem than the Mausoleum Wanderer. Obviously, the Mausoleum Wanderer makes the sorceries worse, so better to use them early. 3 mana. No Obsession. There are a couple of different builds of Blue White Spirits. They may not be playing it, but they probably are. No real reason for us to commit anything here. Okay, I'll play the Confluence. Now, do you want to cast this? Let's get Spell Queller. We are in a good position to be able to, like, binding the Spell Queller, not be taking too much damage, and then be able to... It's there. It's going to get something. We just have to push through the counter spells and deal with it. See? So if they go like, yeah, there's not tons like Punisher. That's shocking. Maybe they do have like Rattle Chains Lord, although you think maybe they'd have played one already. Okay. There is the red zone. We go to 15. What else do we have going on? At this point, I am just going to play the Fabled Passage out, I think. There you go. They're shocked there. What are you up to? I guess they can do this. Is this how they win the match? I think end of this turn, if they've not done anything, we lay Unbinding. I don't mind taking the extra damage to go to 14. They do now have a lot of cards. They're not drawing off the Spectral Sailor this turn, so I want to cast this. We're going to hit the Shacklegeist, because that's the one. I think that they do have a Rattle Chains. Let's see what they how they decide to use it. If they okay, they're on Lofty Denial. Do what? Pay 4? Can't do that. Okay. I'm gonna get a red here so we don't end up taking one off the Mana Confluence. I am gonna go for the Shadow Dice again still. Alright, they've got 3 cards. We have a turn here with oh, they have nothing, but we can't really punish them in any way. Forest. Play this Adjugantha. Oh dear. Okay. We only gave them one extra draw, with, like one draw with a Spectral Sailor. It doesn't feel that bad. We will absolutely block the Mutavault. If they have exactly Rattle Chains Plush Sword, then we get thrown up. But I'll happily take this. Okay, Elish Dawn's big. Let's get the land down first. It probably won't make a difference, but hey, can't be spell queller at least. Know that. They have another snare. They do have another snare. That's fair enough. Can't really do a ton about that. Still Gigantha, still only currently having... Okay. This is an important one. Implies that they're kind of flooded. Have a land to play. Desta costs 3. Fable Passage, we want to keep it... I'm going to put it into play in search if need be to pay for snare. If this is Lofty Denial, then it gets countered. It does get countered. Okay. Okay. This is all kind of punishment for not just immediately trying to hit the Spectral Sailor. But... You can pay for denial, but we can't pay... Should maybe have taken it over the Shacklegeist. Obviously this doubles their clock, and if they've got like gas in hand, then that'll finish us off pretty quick. Land is not great. Oh dear, they can nearly double activate this thing now. Okay. I messed up. We should have Leyline Binding the Spectral Sailor. I mean, I can confidently say that, which means, you know, you don't need to write it in the comments if you don't want to. Hehe. We are playing a Shockland a turn though, but we are currently paying the iron price. We can play Omnath and have 4 mana open. We can't pay for two counter spells anyway. See what they have. Well, Spell Queller is the worst possible. Just because we don't have an answer right now. That resolves. That's it. It's a go. Now they've got 7 damage. They're at least not drawing a card, but they've still got 3 in hand, going up to 4. Another Sailor. Increase the clock. Lords here will make this a 2-turn clock. And yeah, things are not looking great. They're going to go ahead and main phase draw. Try and hit one of those maybe, or counter spells. The land. I forget just how good a Sailor is here. Or like in the control matchups. Alright, we have a bunch of good draws. We're keeping this land tapped in play. Okay, we drew Spectral Sailor. Here's an island. Okay, well we got flooded, right? Like we have like 10 lands. But, and literally any lord here. I'm not sure if they play... I imagine they've got lethal around. We need exactly Omnath. We need Omnath into relevant card as well. My turn. This probably doesn't get us there. We can pay for what? Alright, this doesn't let us pay for anything else. A cast Niv-Mizzet, see what they have. Who knows? This would be the ultimate comeback story. Alright, submit these. I just like have to try and cast the spells, right? We're on 2 though. What do we need? So it's either we try and Colligan's command, which costs us the life, so that actually doesn't do anything. Yeah, we usually need to try and resolve the Solar Blaze. And for them to have nothing. Come on, doo-doo. Oh my gosh. And on that note, we are done here. Alright. Oops. Kind of oops. We were dead either way. We couldn't cast the Colligan's command, we were dead on board. So, that is 5 color Niv. We will concede, pack it up, pack it in. But deck is really, really sweet. These are some tough matchups. Like Spirits, they've got pressure plus disruption. It is hard, but easily. Hey, if you draw some random abilities, it does get a lot better. Deck is really sweet. There's a lot of room to chop and change and move around. If you enjoyed the video, please do subscribe. Again, trying to hit 1,000. That's like the like step for like monetization and stuff. Helps supports me a ton. So hey, please do subscribe and also share this. Thanks for watching. Peace out.